State, are we ready to proceed with the bond hearing this morning?
Yes, sir.
Defense, are we ready to proceed with the bond hearing this morning?
We are, Your Honor.
Okay. I had indicated that I was going to give you a pretrial approximately a month out on the case. I had been looking at March 12th as a possibility, so I'd like everybody to check their schedules during the first break to see if March 12th is going to in fact work for everybody. It would be at 11 a.m. I have some other pretrials scheduled that morning, but I want to try and get them out of the way before we got to this.
Judge?
We'll probably do an hour and 10 minutes before we take our first break, so that'd be at approximately 11:20. Yes, Mr. Crable.
On that pre-trial hearing, I'm just interested in, you said 30 days as far as the discovery release is concerned. Would that be the day that
would be the day that I would hear about the objections. So when I sign the order, I'm going to modify that order to reflect March 12th as the date that it's either going to be objected to and I'll continue the order, or it's going to be released. So that would be the idea. I know it's not exactly 30 days, but it was as close as we could come on the calendar.
Thank you.
All right. State, who do you wish to call as your first witness?
Your Honor, the State would call Detective Alan Proctor.
All right, Detective Proctor.
Judge, may I approach the clerk, please?
Yeah. Detective Proctor, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do, sir.
Have a seat.
Thank you, sir.
Your Honor, may it please the court. Mr. Escobar, Mr. Michaels. Detective Proctor, good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Detective Proctor, can you please state your full name
Alan Proctor.
and your profession, sir?
I'm a detective with the Pasco County Sheriff's Office, the Major Crime Unit.
How long have you been a detective with the Pasco County Sheriff's Office?
Since 1993.
And what are your current duties with the Pasco County Sheriff's Office?
I'm assigned to the Major Crime Unit.
Detective Proctor, directing your attention back to January 13th of 2014, were you on duty that day?
Yes, sir, I was.
Did you have occasion to become involved in the investigation of a homicide which occurred at the Cobb Theater?
I did, sir.
During the course of your investigation, did you come in contact with a person who later became known to you as Curtis Reeves?
Yes, sir, I did.
And do you see Mr. Reeves in the courtroom?
Yes, sir, I do.
And if you would, please, can you point him out and describe what he's wearing?
Sitting at the table, sir, wearing a dark-colored sweater with a light-colored shirt and tie.
Your Honor, that's the record reflect that Detective Proctor has in fact identified the defendant in this case.
Mr. Escobar, do you have any objection to the in-court identification?
I do not, Your Honor.
Record may so reflect. May continue.
Thank you, Your Honor. Detective Proctor, as part of your investigation, did you have occasion to interview the defendant, Curtis Reeves, in this case?
Yes, sir, I did.
And prior to his interview, did you in fact read him his Miranda rights?
Yes, sir, I did.
Do you have that card with you here today?
Yes, sir, I do.
And if you would, please, would you read it?
Certainly, sir. Your Miranda warnings are: you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in the court of law. You have the right to talk to a lawyer and have him or her present with you while you're being questioned. If you cannot afford to hire a lawyer, one would be appointed to represent you before any question if you wish. You can decide at any time to exercise these rights, not answer any questions or make any statements. Do you understand each of the rights I've explained to you? And having those rights in mind, do you wish to talk to us now?
Okay. And did Mr. Reeves appear to understand his Miranda rights?
Yes, sir, he did.
Did he agree to speak to you?
Yes, sir, he did.
And did he do so freely and voluntarily?
Yes, sir.
Was his interview tape recorded?
Yes, sir, it was.
In its entirety?
Yes, sir.
Did you ever go off tape?
Never.
Okay. In coming in contact with Mr. Reeves back on January 13th of 2014, did you observe any injuries to the left side of Mr. Reeves' head or face?
No, sir.
Did he indicate to you or complain to you of any injuries or marks on the left side of his face?
Yes, sir. He was rubbing his eye.
Where was he doing this?
Sitting in the front seat of my vehicle. He had actually pulled down the visor with the vanity mirror and was rubbing his eye.
Okay. Did you see any type of injuries to his eyes?
No, sir.
And did you have the lack of injuries photographed on Mr. Reeves?
Yes, sir, I did.
Did you see any other marks or bruises, abrasions on his hands?
Yes, sir, I did.
Which hand?
Both. It was majority on, was probably from a handcuff and indicative of a handcuff.
No response to the question.
Sustained. Rephrase your question.
Okay. Detective Proctor, in your years of being a law enforcement officer, how many occasions have you had to handcuff a suspect or a defendant?
Several hundred.
Hundreds?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And based upon your training and experience, can handcuffs cause abrasion marks on the hands?
Objection.
Yes.
The proper predicate for that opinion would strike that answer.
I think, Judge, I'm in the process of laying that predicate.
Well, I'm going to sustain the objection. I can draw my own conclusions
Okay.
at a bond hearing as to what the injuries might or might not have been caused by.
Okay. In light of that, Judge, I'll move on then. Judge, I would ask the record to reflect that I'm showing what's been marked as State's Exhibit B for identification purposes as a composite to Mr. Escobar. Judge, may I approach the clerk, please?
You may. While he's getting those marked, usually I greet the crowd, usually, because there's usually a crowd, there's usually never a crowd, but when there is a gathering of people, I usually greet them and remind them of the rules that are enforced in court. I'd like to say, having just been in my other courtroom with 50 people for a variety of other things, you're a very, very well conducted crowd, and please continue to conduct yourselves as such. Remember, we do take breaks. They are 10 minutes. When we take the breaks, it's going to be 11:20 approximately this morning, so if you need to get up and walk about, that would be the better time to do it. Please make sure that your cell phones are turned off. If you forgot to do that, please check that now as well. All right? You may continue, Mr. Garcia.
Judge, may I approach Detective Proctor, please?
Yes, feel free to move about.
Thank you. Detective Proctor, I'm handing you what's been marked as State's Exhibit B for identification purposes as a composite. Do you recognize the items there?
Yes, sir.
And the photographs of Mr. Reeves that are depicted in these photographs, is it a true and accurate depiction of how he appeared on January 13th of 2014?
Yes, sir, the latter pictures, that's correct, yes, sir.
Judge, I would move this in evidence as State's Exhibit number
3 on states.
3?
Yeah.
As State's Exhibit 3, Judge.
As a composite?
Yes, sir.
Do you have any objection?
No objection, Your Honor.
Without objection, will be admitted as State's Exhibit 3 composite for the purposes of this voluntary.
May I proceed, Judge? Thank you. Detective Proctor, you indicated that you had occasion to interview Curtis Reeves.
Yes, sir, I did.
And that interview was conducted on an audio tape.
That's correct, sir.
Have you had an opportunity to listen to it?
Yes, sir, I have.
Is it a true and accurate depiction of your questions as well as Mr. Reeves' responses
That's correct, sir.
that he gave to you back on January 13th of 2014?
That's correct, sir.
Okay. And I've asked the record to reflect on showing what's been marked as State's Exhibit B for identification purposes to Mr. Escobar. Your Honor, with the court's permission, I would like to play the taped interview of Mr. Reeves now.
Any objection to publishing the...
No objection, Your Honor.
All right. You may proceed.
Judge,
If I could step out and get Detective Smith to...
Sure.
Do you mind, Judge, Detective Smith coming in for the purposes of putting the
Anybody
CD?
that can make the technology work, that's what we need right now. Is it going through the system?
I
here to
believe
record
so.
us?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I did the video conference in order to make that work, so let's see what happens. No, I understand. Ready to play?
1510. Yep.
Come on, Curtis.
How you doing, Curtis? You all right, Curtis? No. Can you get out of there, man? Oh. All right. There you go. Come on, Curtis. My name's Alan Proctor. Let's step over here to my car. You all right? Sit here in the front seat. Go ahead.
I'm 71 years old. I got you. Alan, what do you want to do?
You want to cuff him in the front? All right. Curtis, you don't have anything else on you, sir, do you, Mr. Reeves?
I have no idea, my friend.
You know, double check and see if he's got anything else on him.
I think they've stripped me
Yeah, have they?
at least three. He has any more property on. At least 3 times, maybe 4.
Okay, cool.
That was one of the reasons I wanted to handcuff Oulson. Just put them in the front. Yes. All right, don't push on me. Do walk, all right? I understand the concept.
Turn around, face me. Just sit kind of straight back into where you sit in your seat.
First, with the shoulder, and you have those rights in mind.
Well, I do hope the folks that, and I really didn't hear side are paying attention.
What movie were you watching?
Well, we were watching the previews.
Watching the previews?
Yeah. Well, I do hope the folks that
What movie were you watching?
Well, we were watching all the rest.
Watching the previews?
Yeah.
Okay.
All the rest of the precincts.
How long have the lights been down?
Oh, I have no idea.
couple minutes?
Yeah. Well, the lights have been down for quite a while because they go through all that stuff, turning off your cell phone, the concession stand, and all that stuff.
Right.
So I have no idea on the concept of time. 5 minutes.
Brian, I just want to get a couple.
Thank you. Hey, they're going to go get something to drink.
I'm not trying to do anything other than get the feeling back.
That's all right.
Shoulder stress.
That's all right. How long you been retired?
20 years.
Wow. You started as a young man then, huh? Started as a young man then, huh?
Yeah, I did. I spent, see, I went on in October of 1966.
Wow.
Did 27 there. I was a director of security at Busch Gardens for 12 years, and I've been trying to retire, enjoy my retirement for about 9 years.
I understand. Well, if he's going to bring you some water.
I don't care if it's cold as long as it's wet.
All right, sir. I've got some here, but you probably want to drink after me because I've got well, we're going to get you some fresh water. Well, I'm not saying that, but I've been a cop almost 30 years myself, so.
I got you. I understand.
And I hate to talk to you about all this.
Well, I'll tell you the damn truth. I hate to be here. This is crazy. It was absurd. I tell retired cops that you don't do this. But I've never had anybody jump on my ass like that.
Right.
It was crazy. It really was. It's completely uncomfortable.
I understand. So the lights have been down. What happens?
Well, the guy was playing with his cell phone, so I leaned over to him after his cell phone.
Right.
And he told me to fuck off or something like that. So I leaned back and he kept on doing it. So I got up and I went and told the manager out front. I said, look, that's bad. I said, I asked him to turn his cell phone off and just play with it. He told me to fuck off, so I said, I appreciate it. You got to take care of it.
Okay, so he kept doing that. What manager?
Oh, I don't know. Whoever was sitting at the desk. Big heavy sack battle with the class. Whoever was sitting at the front desk and taking on the I assume he was a man. I don't know tag. I don't know what I said.
But he's a heavyset guy?
Yeah.
Wearing glasses?
I think so. Hours of observation fade.
I understand. So what happens then?
Come back into the movie, and the guy put his phone away, and as I went by, I said, I see you put it away. I told the manager for no reason. In other words, I went in and ratted him out. If he's going to put it away, I wouldn't have gone, you know.
Right.
And he turns around in his seat and let's get some ice. And he says something about he was answering. We're going to have to get the top.
You got it.
Yeah. And he said something about he was, I don't remember, if it was any of your fucking business, I was texting my daughter or something like that, and you stay the hell out of my face. I think that's when he said that. So, and his wife was holding him back. So I had sat down, and I think I got the bag of popcorn from my wife, and suddenly he jumps up, and he turns around, and he stands in his seat, which was, well, you saw the crime scene, he was off to the right.
Right.
So as he's pushing on the back, there's a crack between us. So I'm leaning back in my chair. I got nowhere to go.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm leaning back in my chair. So he kept on hollering, and I'm not sure what he said, to be honest with you. He said something. And that led me to believe he was going to kick my ass. And I don't know if that's exactly how he phrased it or not. So I'm looking, briefly, I know I can't go anywhere. So I'm leaning all the way back in my chair as far as I can to get away from him, and suddenly he's virtually on top of me. So because I'm stretched out, if you look at these pants, pistol was in the right front pocket. And when you're sitting down, there's no way you can get it out. So I'm stretched out trying to get away from him. My left arm is out in front of me, and I think I'm saying either no, 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 or whoa, 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 one or the other. And then suddenly my head was to the right, so he hit me with something. I assume it was his fist, but I don't know. Let me see. Something was wrong with my left eye. Anyway, I had him wash it out for me. So he hit me with his fist or with something. I think he had his cell phone in his hand because I saw the blur of the screen. I guess.
Right.
And I got my left hand out in front of me, and he hits me in the face and knocks my glasses sideways. And there was a young Sumter County deputy that came over right afterwards. And I have frames that you can bend them all over the place. But the left side was stretched out.
So he knocks your glasses off?
They weren't off, they were partially off, and I fixed them where they fit my head again. And for a while there, I was kind of dazed, and it had to be from the strike, even if it was a glazing blow or whatever. But I felt like I had something in my eye, I still do, but not as bad. The fire department guys rinsed it out with some kind of shit. Anyway, I'm leaning back. He's virtually in my lap. I got contact with something with my left hand. It's dark in there. I mean, suddenly this happened so damn fast. And the trajectory of the bullet should be upward because I came out of my pocket with it, and surprised I didn't shoot myself in the hand. But and good hell, I didn't need to do that. That was just, I had to say that. I've counseled cops for.
How many rounds you shoot?
I guess you could say I was scared shitless.
Okay.
I got arthritis in both hands. My back's a freaking wreck. I was on SWAT for 15 years. We thought we were supermen, and as you get older, you find out you're a physical wreck.
Okay. And you had that gun in your right?
It was in my right front pocket, and I'm stretched out. Well, like I said, you can see the pockets here, and you can't get it out if you're not completely. I'm stretched out on my seat, sort of like this.
Right.
And I'm holding. I'm whoa, 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 or no, 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 one or the other. And I'm hit in the face, and it had to be done. And
you got any idea where you shot him at?
I have no idea. I heard somebody say he was shot in the chest.
You see anything in his hands?
I think he had the cell phone. When he turned away from me, I looked down and the cell phone was laying at my feet. So I think that's what he hit me in the face with. I didn't see anything else. And I don't know what you guys think.
I hear you. Did your wife, where was your wife found?
She was sitting on the right-hand side. If she's paying attention, and bless her heart, there's no justification for what happened in there, so
right.
I understand her.
Where was your son at?
He wasn't there. We were waiting for him to come in. We'd saved the seat for him and all sorts of stuff.
And this guy's sitting directly in front of you?
No, his wife, I think, or whoever was with him, this lady was sitting directly in front of me. He was off to the right side, which makes it. Yeah, if he'd have been sitting straight in front of me, I'd have just been whipped because I couldn't do anything.
And the row in front of you, right? The right side and row in front of you?
Right.
Just one chair?
Yeah. What's the status on this guy?
We don't know yet. We've got people down there. It's not looking good.
All over us.
Yeah. Did
his wife was trying? Whoever was with him was trying to hold him back.
Right.
And,
what is he saying to you?
fuck off, get out of my face, fuck you, I'm talking, he was sitting there playing with it, and what he said to me was that he was texting his daughter. Well, he wasn't, he was scrolling through the game. I think when I leaned over and asked him to turn his cell phone off, he told me to get the fuck out of his face, and so I knew right away that...
What about just immediately prior to the shot? What is he saying to you?
Man, he said, I think that's when he's talking about, he's texting his daughter. If it was any of my... There's fucking there 3 or 4 times, I don't remember. If it's in my fucking business, or I'll kick your fucking ass, or... whatever he was saying was threatening. I got to be candid with you. I don't remember exactly.
Okay.
It was enough for me to try to look for a way out. And my wife is saying, and when I got up to go tell the manager, she said, well, we should have just moved is what we should have done. And she said that after the shooting.
Right.
And she's absolutely right. That's exactly what we should have done. So, but it's something that, when he jumped up and turned around, it was no problem. I mean, it was just a guy being mouthy.
Right.
When he jumped on the seat and came over in between the crack between the 2 seats, that's when he scared me.
Okay. Now, you say he jumped up. Now, does he come over the seat, or is he still on his row?
His feet were on the seat. At least one of them was. And he was pushing back with his hand, and he was coming over the seat. Now, exactly where his feet were, I don't know. He was coming over into my area, where I'm sitting.
Okay.
And I'm saying, whoa, it's like, this is just a cell phone, but, this is nothing.
Right.
But I don't know if I was saying no, or whoa. So he's coming over on me. I'm pushing him off with my left hand, and I had a hold of something. I'm assuming it was probably his chest. I don't know.
With your left hand?
With my left hand, right.
As he's coming over, do you actually make contact with his?
I made contact with something, his arm, his chest, his shoulder. I'm saying, no, whoa. And like they say in the books, it happened so fast until... And then as soon as I pulled the trigger, I said, oh, shit, what, this is stupid. But again, I'm 71 years old, I don't need no ass with I'm a younger man.
How old was he?
I'm going to say 35 or 40, maybe.
Did you think that he had something other than a cell phone?
I had no idea what he had. All I knew is the guy was coming after me. It's dark, the theater's dark, the show's on. I don't know him. I see that he's very explosive, unnecessarily. I don't understand what his motivation is or why he wants to pursue something that's not worth pursuing. I had no idea what his motivation was. But when he jumped up, like I said, it was not a big deal. But then when he started for me and he started yelling, then it scared the crap out of me. I'm thinking, holy crap, what's going on here? And after he hit me,
you keep saying he hits you, but what does he hit you with?
it's dark. I don't know.
Okay.
I think he was wearing dark shirt. Dark.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. Fist. Like I said, after he hit me, my face went sideways. My glasses came partially off. By now, I'm stretched out completely, and I'm in my seat, kind of like this, with my left hand out. And when I shot, he was, hell, it should have been pretty darn close to a contact.
Okay.
I know we're trained not to stick it out in front of us, but
Right.
to be honest with you, I was afraid I'd shoot myself. And all that happened so fast, I didn't shit it. I'm thinking, this guy's fixing to do me some bad stuff. If I had it to do over again, it would never have happened. We would have moved. But you don't get do-overs.
So what made you shoot him?
Well, I guess it scared the hell out of me.
Okay.
I thought the guy was fixing to beat the shit out of me.
Okay.
I don't know how else to say that. When my
But
glasses...
he never told you that, right?
He said something that led me to believe, and then when the guy starts coming at you with the aggravated position, the contorted face, the fuck yous and stuff like that, I don't think I've ever had anybody get in my face like that, and it scared the crap out of me. If I was 20 years younger or something like that, I might have just wrestled it out with him, but
Okay.
I'm not, all that agility and shit's gone.
Okay.
Actually, I'm very surprised that the last time I shot that little pistol, I couldn't hardly shoot because I had so much arthritis in the hands.
Right.
So,
All right. What else can you tell me?
that's it, I guess. I don't know.
Todd, what did I miss?
Well, I want to kind of just make things a little bit clearer. You talk about it came at you in an aggravated manner.
Facial expression, verbal.
So let me ask you this. You keep saying that if you had it to do over, you would do something different. If you had it to do over, you think you could have took him more knowing he didn't have a weapon, that you could have took him physically by himself?
No, man, I'm shit, I can't fight. I'm 71 years old, I couldn't take that guy. I couldn't take anybody, not anymore. I retired, I'm gaining 20, 30 pounds, I got arthritis in my back, my knees, my hands. I couldn't take anybody.
You think that it could have been prevented by not using the gun?
There's no way that me or anybody else can speculate on that, I don't think. If I had thought that I wasn't going to get beat up, it would have never happened. I was pretty confident after being hit one time that he wasn't going to stop.
Well, what we got to do is we got to figure out what we're going to do.
Oh, I know.
And we got to figure out.
Wait, okay, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
No. You got a lady that was sitting one seat away from me. She should have seen everything.
Elderly little lady?
I don't know. She was just a lady. There's a vacant spot. She should have seen something. My wife was sitting right next to me.
Okay.
She should have. I mean, I don't know what she was doing, but she was right there. And then there was a space where we left for my son, and then there was some other people sitting there. And when I said something to them when I left to go tell the manager on the cell phone.
And we're talking to everybody just to try to get.
Oh, I know that. Yeah, you talk to everybody before you.
You've handled these kind of cases before. What would you expect us to do? What would you do if you were in our situation?
Oh, man. Well, let me put it this way. If I wasn't afraid of getting hurt or beaten up, I would have never pulled a pistol, first of all. And I've trained cops when I was on the PD. I actually trained Delaware County, a lot of those guys. A lot of things are different. When you're in law enforcement, you have coverage if this happens. And what I tell people is, if this ever happens to you, even if you're 1,000% right and the other people are 1,000% wrong, it's still not a healthy thing to get involved in that you shouldn't be doing. So I've been training for years, and I still hang around with a bunch of retired SWAT guys. I was SWAT team commander for 15 years, and I still hang around with a bunch of those guys. And we thought we were King Kong for a long time. And as it turns out, as you get older, you end up with all the injuries that you thought had gone away come back. And so we're a bunch of cripples now, I guess you could say. We're laughing at call ourselves that.
You're not intoxicated or anything like that, right? You know what's going on here?
I don't drink. I don't take drugs. I drank part of a cold drink, and I was eating popcorn when the guy jumped up and turned around. So should be popcorn all over the place in front of where I was sitting, because that went by the wayside almost immediately.
How did that end up by the way?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I dropped it or if he knocked it out of my hand. I don't know.
Okay.
All I remember is after I shot him, I laid the pistol on my leg, put my glasses back on, and a young man came over and said he was a Sumter County deputy, and I handed him my pistol. I said, here's the pistol. I said, it's got one in the chamber.
Okay.
And then I straightened out my glasses. I saw the popcorn on the floor. I saw a cell phone right in front of me. And I thought it was mine, but apparently it's his. And I'm thinking that's kind of what hit me.
Okay.
What kind of gun?
Yes, I killed that 380.
What kind of bullet? I know that's something.
It's a Thunderball made by get now. It's good stuff.
And you only shot one? And go back to that question I asked you. What would you expect us to do?
Well, I would expect you to, and I hate this term because I've been reading the damn news. I was defending myself. Oh, shit. It don't make it any easier for me to accept it, but that's what I was doing. I was defending myself from what I thought was going to be some serious injury. The guy was very aggressive, considerably younger.
If this guy dies, do you think it was worth it? Or
Hey, man,
your actions, nothing's worth it.
Nothing worth it.
But do you think the actions that you took should have been elevated up to take his life?
I would like to say no. I would hope that the answer to that question would be no. But unfortunately, it's yes. I felt. I mean, I get a bruised arm. It takes 2 months to heal. I couldn't take an ass whipping. I got a problem with my right eye. The guy hit me on the left side, and I'm thinking, oh, shit. I don't want to be blind. I don't want to be any of those other things as I get older. I haven't been scared by that many people. Since I've been retired, nobody has ever scared me. This guy scared the shit out of me.
Okay. And how old would you say you thought he was? I know Vic talked to you that in his 40s, 50s, 30s?
I'm going to say 35 or 40, I guess.
And how old would you say you are?
71.
And I missed the part. Can I get your first and last name again? I don't need all your information.
Curtis Reeves.
Curtis, C-U-R-T-I-S.
R-E-V-E-S?
R-E-V-E-S.
All right, sir. What else, Tom?
I think what we need to do is go talk to them.
Curtis, we're going to have some people come out. We're going to do GSR on you. We're going to take photographs, photograph your injuries, things like that.
What's GSR?
Gunshot residue.
Sure.
All right. Photograph you, things like that. We'll take it one step at a time, all right?
Sure.
Got any question on me?
Well, do this too. Hey, before you leave. Get all the questions you want, because if you scare the shit out of me, I want to get an attorney.
Well, believe me, you know the system as well as we do.
I know the system 20 years ago.
Yeah.
You understand what we're just doing our job.
Yeah.
And you know what, we haven't decided what we are going to do, but if we go talk to them and everything verifies both ways, then we'll do what we think's fair. And
Who's them?
what we think's right, all the witnesses.
Oh, okay. Oh, you guys have already talked to the witness. You could have talked to the state attorney, right?
I've talked to 2 witnesses.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's all I've talked to.
Have you talked to my wife?
No, I haven't. I will talk to her. We'll go one step at a time, all right?
She's got, like I said, she, bless her heart, she's the sweetest thing on earth. I don't deserve her. She could never, ever, ever justify this anywhere. She'll never tell you. She made a comment to me that,
Hey, Trav.
what it was, like, what was that, or
Right.
why'd you do that?
I understand. Well, I think that, take it one step at a time. All right? This is Sue Miller here. She's a forensic tech. She'll get you all photographed up.
Well, about the only thing they're going to, I don't know, they looked at the rescue guys. I feel like I got something in the left eye that's still watering, but.
I don't see anything there, but...
No, they,
You see anything?
no, they rinsed it out. I was kind of pushing on it, got it good. I think it's right here on that phone. It's like the grass or shit. That's where I'm trying
I got you.
Hey, Alan.
Yeah.
We have helicopters everywhere. So what, if you want to pull up here.
Pull up where?
Like up here where he's going, there's an empty theater, and we'll just walk right inside there and get out of the way of all this helicopter. Right over there is the number 11 door between these 2 cars. Right there. We'll take it.
Good enough. Here we go. Wait a second, the media's right there too, damn it.
If you want to pull right up on the graph, I don't think.
Of course, they've already shot her right there. I didn't realize they were standing there. They got cameras 15 miles long. You know how that crap works.
They probably already know who I am.
I love being a cop.
To the next round.
I did too.
That's it? Okay. Leave it in and ready to go in case you decide wants to use it at any other point during the course of the examination. Can you quickly show Mr. Garcia how to operate the incredibly complex 3 buttons that I think are on that?
Judge, there's another audio that we intend on playing through Detective Proctor, so.
Oh, all right. Sounds like we're going to do it. Do you need him for that, or
Yes.
can he train you quickly?
I'd rather he do it, Judge. I don't want to mess anything up.
That's fine.
Judge, while he's doing that, if I may, I'd like to ask him some preliminary questions.
Sure.
May it please the court and counsel. Detective Proctor, on January 13th of 2014, did you have occasion to interview Vivian Reeves?
I did.
And who is Vivian Reeves?
That's the wife of the defendant.
Okay, and was her interview likewise on audio tape?
Yes, it was.
Have you had an opportunity to listen to it?
Yes, sir, I have.
Is it true and accurate?
Yes, sir, it is.
Okay. Judge, I'd ask the record reflect I'm showing State's Exhibit I for identification purposes to Mr. Escobar.
Okay.
Judge, I'd like to move it into evidence of State's Exhibit number 4. With the court's permission, I'd like to play it.
All right. Let's handle it one at a time. Mr. Escobar, any objection to that coming into State's Exhibit 4?
Objection.
Shall be admitted. The other tape, are you going to introduce that other audio cassette? Because I don't think you've introduced that yet.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So that would be 5?
Let me make Mr. Reeves interview 4.
That makes more sense.
Vivian Reeves 5.
All right, so we're going to make Mr. Reeves interview number 4. If you could hand that disc to the clerk, she'll mark 4, and then you can, well, that's 5.
Mr. Reeves interview first.
Mr. Reeves interview first. There you go. That's going to be 4. And then this one will be 5. And you can cue it up and publish.
Thank you.
And so that everybody knows, the note that I flashed to the detective that's the operator today is this at maximum volume? Just, I didn't want to say it to him out loud, because as it was pretty difficult to hear. So maximum volume again, please. All right, you may play.
$16.25. $16.25. Miss Reeves, hi. How are you?
This is Vivian.
I'm sorry, ma'am. I'm the case detective. My name's Alan Proctor. How are you? I'm so sorry about. I hate to have to talk to you about all this, ma'am. I'm still trying to figure out exactly what occurred, and I appreciate you talking to me again. Miss Reeves, what's your first name, please, ma'am? And you're here to see a movie. What's going on? I mean, what causes all this?
The guy, I'm assuming he was texting because I didn't hear him talk. And after the lights dimmed and they told you to discontinue texting, my husband asked him to stop. And he said something to him, I couldn't hear it. And so my husband said, I'm going to go get the manager. And the guy...
So he said something, but you couldn't hear it?
I couldn't hear it.
Okay.
I heard him say, F-U-C-K. but
Okay.
Not my husband.
Okay.
And Curtis left. and-
Curtis said he was going to go get the manager?
Yes.
Okay.
He came back by himself. And I don't even know who said something first, but the guy said, "Who the fuck do you think?" And he stood up and leaned over, and then I heard it pop. And when he stood up and leaned over, I was moving.
Then what happens?
Everyone crowded around the man that was shot, and a law enforcement officer that was on the other side of Curtis asked him for his gun, and he gave it to him. He identified that he showed his gun, and Curtis gave him his gun. And Curtis said Curtis did say he hit me in the face. It happened so fast.
Did you see him get hit in the face?
No, I didn't. When the guy stood up, I think I started to move.
Did you hear a hit? You know what I'm saying? Like, did you hear a connection where you, anything like that?
No.
So Curtis, when does Curtis tell you he's been hit?
Right after he shot the man.
Okay. Did you see any injury to his body?
No. To my husband?
Right.
No, but I sat down a couple seats away.
Okay. Right. But you didn't see him like bleeding or anything like that from the face from your husband, and he said that he had been hit. Did you notice anything about his person that would have indicated that your husband had been hit?
The popcorn was on the floor, but I don't know.
You know how that got on the floor?
I don't. And there was a phone on the floor.
Right.
Because I asked the man who took Curtis's gun, "Can I get the phone?" And he said no.
No, right. You got any idea whose phone that is? Okay.
But then later, when the detective came out and talked to me, I said, "Did you get his phone?" And she said, "He's got a phone on him."
Okay. Did you hear anything that Curtis said to the man that he shot? Did you hear anything that your husband said before?
Not really, except stop playing with your phone or
Okay.
something.
And you're sitting next to Curtis. Do you hear the guy who's playing on the phone? Do you hear him say anything to Curtis other than "fuck you" or something like that?
No, but just that.
Does he raise his voice?
Yes, on that.
Okay, "fuck you," loud.
Who the fuck do you think?
Right.
Something like that.
Who the fuck do you think you are?
Something like that.
Does he say anything else to Curtis?
Before that encounter, I think he said something about he was, I don't know if he said texting, but I heard something about my daughter.
Okay. Why do you think Curtis shot him?
I don't know. He was in law enforcement 20 years and he never shot anybody.
Right. I'm so sorry.
He's never threatened anybody with a gun or nothing. I don't know. If the guy hit him, and I trust my husband, if he hit him, then he just, I don't know if he thought he was going to hurt him. That's what I would think. If he thought he was going to be hurt.
But you didn't see him hit Curtis?
I didn't, because when that guy turned around, I started moving.
Okay. And you moved around. Why? Why would you move away?
Because it scared me. I do not like confrontation. And I said to Curtis after the first conversation, which I don't remember, let's just move. And he said, I'm going to go get the manager.
Okay.
I didn't see the gun. I heard the pop. I couldn't believe it.
How old is your husband?
He's 71.
And how old is this other person looking
I
at you?
have no, I did not see his face.
About how big was he?
I can't tell you.
Okay.
Not huge.
About the same size as your husband?
I don't know.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
No, that's okay.
Was he younger than your husband or older or
I would say younger.
any idea how much younger? Okay.
But I didn't even, the lights were dim. And like I said, it frightened me when he stood up. I was.
Right. When does your husband say that he got hit?
After the shot.
After the shot?
It just happened.
Did he use the word hit?
Yes, he hit me in the face.
What about the popcorn? Where did that come from?
I took some out and put it in a plastic bag.
Do you think, where, you say the popcorn, was that your popcorn or was that somebody else's popcorn?
Curtis's.
Curtis's?
But he was holding it in his hand or in his lap?
I don't, probably in his lap. He had a drink. God, I don't know. Like I said, I took some out for him.
But you never heard, did you hear the guy make any threats?
No, just he was like, or something
Right,
to that.
but no threats or anything like that. And do you know how, you say the guy in front of you, did he stand up?
He stood up and turned around, and he was just right there, I mean, leaning over.
Leaning over. Did the guy get in the chair or anything like that?
Not that I remember.
Do you remember him reaching over and grabbing your husband?
He reached over. It looked like his whole body came forward.
Right.
But I did not see him put his hands on him.
Okay. But so he leans over. Is he standing up when he leans over? Or is he
I would think so, but I don't know.
Okay.
But his head would have been lower than your husband's
He
head.
had to get out of the seat
Right.
to, I believe.
Okay.
He wouldn't have been even head to head with your husband though, because he was down one level below, right? One step below.
Yes.
All right. What else there?
Did you get their message from them?
No.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you so much, ma'am. Could I have your cell phone number?
Yeah, it's 813.
813. And you live here in Pasco?
No, I live in Hernando.
Did somebody get her address? You've already given your address to her.
Yeah, get her son's cell phone number as well, just in
I
case.
thought I lived there in Reeves.
What kind of gun does your husband carry, ma'am? Do you
I
know?
don't know.
Okay.
Matt said it was his pocket gun. I have no idea.
I'm sorry that this happened.
No, it's not.
I'm so sorry to have that. 813?
610.
Is there anything else after that? Mr. Escobar, do you have any objection to me concluding the tape there? All right, let's conclude the tape there. Pop them both out, and we'll have you stand by outside if we need the technician to come back in and play this again. kind of getting some kind of a feedback above me. That's much better. Thank you. All right.
May I proceed, Judge?
You may.
May it please the court, counsel. Detective Proctor, we heard another voice on the audio tape. Who was the other detective that was with you when you interviewed Vivian Reeves?
That would have been Detective Matt Myers.
May I have a moment, Judge?
You may.
Judge, I have no further questions of Detective Proctor at this time.
Is your cross going to be extensive? It might be the best idea to go ahead and take a break now. That way you can collect your thoughts on your cross-examination. Detective Proctor, you've done this before. You know that you're not to talk to anybody during the break. We're going to take a break for approximately 10 minutes. So we'll come back. We'll plan to be back in session at 11:15 to finish the cross-examination. Will we take a break?
Yes, sir.
Please check on that March 12th date for potential pretrial. Same with the